Thank you so much for tuning in to this first episode of this new series I'm starting titled The Art of Expression. The Art of Expression is intended to be a series where both you and I will come together to hold space to express any emotion we might be feeling that week. Every single week, I'll be posting a new video with a new piece linked to a different emotion. These emotions can range from sadness to happiness to anger, grief, joy, even just a sense of calm, which we're painting today. This series is intended to just hold space for us to express that feeling, embody it, and turn it into something beautiful. You can follow along this series with any medium you prefer, whether that be oil, acrylic, watercolor, anything of your choice. All you need is your canvas, your paints, your paintbrushes, yourself, your feelings, and we can get started. Here the paints are up close. I have cadmium red medium hue, light ultramarine blue, light bismuth yellow, and light violet. For any acrylic paintings I always use the slow drying medium by Golden. It is literally called a retarder. It just slows the drying time of the paint, which allows you to work slower and not so quickly as if you've used acrylic before. Acrylics tend to dry very fast. You also want to make sure you have a bucket of water or a cup with water right next to your station where you can continuously dip and undip your paintbrush and dry it off on a towel. We are gonna go ahead and add this medium in before we blend our shade, and I typically blend the colors I have down to see what I need to add before I continue to blend the rest of my shades in. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is scoop a little of this purple bluish shade and put it aside. I am going to go ahead and add some white to whiten this shade and a little white to keep this shade a little darker. Another tip I did want to give you is you never want to darken your shades by adding black. Black tends to be very flat on your canvas, so I usually tend to darken any color I have with brown, a Persian blue, or I'll use in this case gray because that's what I have. But again, we're here to have a good time and to have fun together. So this painting is not intended to be perfect by any means. We're just trying to have a good time and express this feeling of calm. So I am gonna continue to get all of the shades I need. We have a very nice, almost orangey pink coming out of this piece. So I'm using a bit of that cadmium red and a lot of white to make a pink, and then I'm gonna take the same shade and I am going to mix it in with some yellow to make a little more of an orange hue. Red shades have a lot of pigment, so you just need a tad of red to get a nice shade pink, mostly white, trust me on that. Now that we have this nice pink shade, I am going to take some of this pink, put it aside, and I'm going to add a little yellow. When you are painting cohesive paintings, it's very important that you stick to the same shades you are originally using. That not only allows the piece to look even more real, but it will also give you a map on what to darken and lighten, so that you can have all the shades you need. Since we are painting very pastel colors for this piece, you just need a tad bit of the actual color you are using and more white than anything else. Make sure you are mixing your medium into every single shade so that your paints last longer and they don't dry as quickly. For my last shade, I am doing this nice little vibrant yellow shade. I'm going to take a little bit of that orange we had previously blended and just mix it in with this yellow right here to create an even brighter, more pastel yellow hue. Now that we have got our colors down, I'm going to start off with this medium purple color we went ahead and made. And for the medium shade, I am going to use a fluffier brush. So here is my top secret for acrylic colors. You're going to go ahead and dip your paintbrush into the water, just a tad, don't soak it, just a tad, just the tips. And now you're gonna go ahead and rub that excess water off on a t-shirt. I have mine on my lap, so if you see me rubbing down, I have a t-shirt on my lap, which I'm cleaning off in. Now we're gonna go ahead and go in with this lighter purple color, and we're just gonna start placing it right up here, just like that. No need for perfection. We are not trying to make this piece perfect. We're just trying to evoke a feeling of calm. That's all we are doing here. So, as you can see, I still have some on my brush. Not to worry, just go ahead and wipe the excess paint off on your tee. You could even dip it in your water. Now we are gonna go in with this blue shade I have right here, and we're gonna lightly tap that in on the top right here. Just lightly. As you can see, the color is already beginning to drag together and blend, which is exactly what we want for this sky. We're not making bulky, fluffy little clouds. We are just making a nice set of soft clouds that are blended in together. That is perfect. I think you got that down very nicely. Now we are going to pick up our pink, but with our pink, we're going to go ahead and mix it in a little bit with this deep purple color to make a nice, softer, nice blend of that pink and purple in. And we're going to take the same brush, go ahead and drag some of those little clouds right here on top, wherever you feel they belong. You don't need to follow me. You can also do your own thing. But I'm going to go ahead and paint a cloud right here. And I also feel that one coming right here would be very lovely. So I'm going to go ahead and take that same pink shade and just put it all right here, right across the top, right across the top. Sometimes with clouds, you do have those little lines, just a random little line of pink. Go ahead and land that on your canvas. It doesn't need to be perfect. There you go. Now we're gonna go back in with this bluish shade and put that right in the middle of all of these colors and lines that we have made. Just like that. It doesn't need to be perfect at all. It does not need to be perfect. The feeling of calm is just being one with whatever it is that is happening in your life. So just as we're laying these colors down, allow them to be as any other experience in your life. Just allow them to be. Be graceful with whatever it is that's happening. See? I made a little mistake right here. We can go ahead and pick that off. Not to worry, it happens. And go ahead and paint right over that once again. Now I am going to go ahead and dip my paintbrush back in the water. Get that nice and cleaned up. Remember to wipe the excess water off on a t-shirt or a napkin or paper towel, whatever it is you're using. Go ahead and wipe that off. Got it? Okay. Going in with that same blue shade you see right here, we're going to go ahead and pick that up once again and continue to take the sky downhill. I also like to do the same brush motion for the painting so that it's cohesive and the clouds look like they're going in the same direction, but that is for this piece. You also don't have to do that. You could do whatever you want. Now, we're going to take again the same blue shade we see right here and bring it down a little bit, just a little bit, just to about the middle. Just like that. Maybe even connect these two. Why not? Why not? Why don't we leave two little gaps for other streaks of clouds? These streaks can be this nice pink purplish we had made earlier. Go ahead and place them in just like that. Doesn't need to be perfect. If there's any mistakes, we just keep going. Life is never going to be perfect. But as long as you're calm, you stay cool, calm, and collected, you can get through anything, really. So we're going to go ahead and place that down right here as well. Nice, nicely done, just like that, very soft. That's nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and move the paint around with a different brush. So a very good trick I have for any painter actually is to use makeup brushes. This is a foundation brush. I think I got it from BH Cosmetics. It's super old, but you are gonna lightly, if this is your water surface, tap your water just lightly. Don't dip your brush in, just lightly tap the surface, dry it off, and then we're gonna blend it, okay? So lightly tapping the water, patting out any excess water we may have on the brush, and we are gonna wanna go ahead and blend from the darker shades, dry it off, and do it again. Ready? Just like that. I am flicking my wrist in a circular motion that just allows all of the paint to move cohesively together. It doesn't matter if any paint lifts off from the canvas, we're gonna go in with another layer. So be free with yourself. It doesn't matter here. We don't need to make this stressful. We can just be calm. See? You see how that's starting to blend? That looks good, right? I think so. Now, since we blend that darker shade up, you are going to want to go ahead and tap your brush off again on whatever you're cleaning it on. And now we're going to go ahead and blend that pink and blue in. Circular motions. You also don't have to blend it if you don't want. If you like how your gradient looks, you can go ahead and leave it. There we go. Just getting that nice blended in. And again, it doesn't matter if it doesn't look perfect, because that's not what we're here to do. And we are also going to go ahead in with a second layer. So happy little brush strokes. That's all that matters. This is just your base. You do not need to define your base. You do not need to make it perfect. Just allow it to be. It'll all work out, I promise. Okay, now that we have all of these shades blended in, go in with a similar brush as the first brush that I was using. It has the same shape, but it is a tad smaller. Okay, we are going in with this gray purple hue we mixed in. If your paint starts to dry off, as you can see mine doing here, it's not picking up as much, don't feel afraid to tap your paintbrush in a tiny bit of water and then grab that color right up. As you can see right there, we only need a little bit of that color. So we're going to go ahead and just place it down. It can be messy. It's going to be the top of a cloud. You can also add it in right here. Why not? Why not? Okay. Dry that off. Going back in with our pink shade and putting it right underneath that cloud, right like that. Like that. Just like that. Yep. I feel like I've said it so many times, but we are not looking to make this piece perfect. We're just allowing ourselves to have a space to create and feel however it is that we are feeling. But if you did want to learn how to make precise clouds, I will be posting more videos on that soon, so don't worry about it. Now we're going to go ahead and take that same lighter purple color and we're just going to blend it up in here. I'm going to add a little more water to my brush, as water is very important with acrylic. It makes it more fluid. Just like that. Get some nice shades in. And if your paint is drying out, don't worry, just go ahead and add some water and it'll be right back to where it needs to be. Another cloud right here. Look at that. We're building clouds on top of each other. Doing good. And we're going to add a little blue. There you go. All going to blend together. Your last bit of pink down here, why not? Let me add a little more water. Nice pink right here. Yep. Finish that off. And we can actually add some lines right here. Give it the illusion of the clouds fading off far away. Now we have this little orange yellow mix we did. I'm gonna go ahead and tap my paintbrush back into water as I've been doing. And we are gonna fill in these missing spots right here. Don't worry, if your paint is drying, you can always add more water. Not to the canvas though, to your paint. But even if you did add it to your canvas, that's okay. We're just having fun right now. And lastly, we are gonna go into this yellow color right here. Add a little bit of water to our brush. Dip that in. Yes. A little sunrise moment, I feel. A beautiful little calm sunrise. Just imagine yourself on the beach, having your favorite drink, being with the people you love or by yourself, and taking a deep breath of the sky and enjoying it. Okay, and now we are going to use a smaller blending brush that is actually a makeup brush. Once again, dip it into a little bit of water, just the surface. Go ahead and dry it off. And we go back in and we blend. Some of the paint may lift, that is totally okay. We are not trying to make it perfect. We are just blending. There we go. Now we are going to go back into the rest of the shades and blend them out before we go ahead and define some of these clouds. And they will always reveal themselves to you. Where you should add more or less, you'll get a feeling of it. You'll know intuitively. You don't need to worry. Just flow. Flow with the brush, flow with life. Allow things to be as they are. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to rush today. You just need to be here. That looks beautiful. And we got a nice gradient of the sky. Okay? This is where things get a little fun because we can start adding in some highlight and seeing where we want clouds to flow or to be. So we are going to go back in with our smaller brush that we were originally using to place all of our colors in. And I'm going to start building the clouds. You can leave it here if this is what you're happy with and you feel calm and you feel good about it. Go ahead and leave it here. But if you want to add a little dimension, I got you. So back in with that blue. Make sure your brush is on the wetter side. You don't want to be working with a dry brush. Go ahead and go back in with that blue and just tap it on to the areas that have some blue. Just like that. There we go. See that? Defining. We are defining. But we're just being calm about it and we're having a good time. Now back in with some of that pink. Yes, nicely done. Nice little pink right there. There we go. See, the clouds start building themselves. So I do want to go ahead and make some of this cloud lighter so that there's a little more dimension. So I'm taking some of the orange color we made and just adding it into some places where I feel there'd be highlight. There you go. And again, just highlighting some little areas. Wherever you feel for your painting that the highlight would look good, go ahead and add it. Try it out. If you don't like it, you can cover it up again. It's not a problem. You're just having fun. There we go. So now I am going to go back in with the smaller face brush and I'm going to blend once again. Oh, see, I made a mistake. I got to dip the tip in just a little bit. Okay, push that excess water off. And now, see that difference? You know, it just picks up paint. Just very smoothly, everything glides together. You don't need to try so hard sometimes. You just have to enjoy and be where you are. There we go. That's nice. There we go. Nice. Now we are going to blend this little cloud out. And it's okay if the colors are blending all together. You can go ahead and add more of the color you want. If you want more pink in there, add more pink. If you want a little more blue, add more blue. It doesn't matter. You define your own clouds and what you like. Oh, this is, there we go. Get that right off. Okay. And we're just continuing the motion of blending. Blending our clouds, allowing them to come together, just flowing with the warm colors we have in here. It looks good, I think. I think it does. I think you're doing good. I think you might not be giving yourself enough credit for how good you're doing, but that's okay. I think we all do that. There we go. Okay, now I do want more highlight up here, so I am gonna go ahead and define a little tiny bit of cloud. So I'm taking again some water, this lighter purple shade, mixing it a tad with the darker purple, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add some distance, far away clouds. Anything that makes you feel calm, you can just place it right there. Maybe one will be on top right here. Maybe there's a cloud coming in right here on top. Just blending that. See how easy that is? Just effortlessly blending that cloud right there. Nice. That's nice. Okay. I want to add more dimension to this cloud. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that same purple on the brush and just make little shapes. Go up and down, whatever feels right to you. Giving this cloud a little more definition right here, as you can see. And over here once again. And now we're going to add more of that pink shade right here. Nice. Defining that cloud. Blending it. There we go. Nicely done. Okay. I feel like she got a little lost right here, but that's okay. We're just gonna define her with a little more of that dark shade. There we go. And blend it out. Just like that. Okay. Things will always fall into place too. You might want a cloud right here, it might blend out. You might want a cloud somewhere else, it might blend out. You might want to add more to it, you might not. Everything is okay. Just allow yourself to have fun. I feel like I should add a little more pink right here. Because you know what? I didn't like that cloud. So we're going to get rid of it. That's okay. Sometimes you change your mind about things. You shouldn't hold yourself to always staying in the same place. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to be free. You're allowed to do whatever you want in this space together. I am defining more of these clouds down here, here in the yellow. There we go. There we go. Slowly but surely, you'll see it just starts to build, it just starts to form, it just starts to be. With calmness, you can achieve anything, really. There we go. Blend that out nice and smoothly. That looks good. See? We made a mistake, but we got right back to it. Doesn't matter. Okay. Nice. And you know what? I kind of do want to blend these clouds in a little more as well, right here. Just lightly tapping them. Lightly, very lightly tapping them. I'm going to go ahead and add a little more highlight to these clouds up here. Nothing too crazy, just a little more of that orange color. Just to give it some nice definition. Just that, and right here. Wherever it feels good for you. For your clouds, for your painting that you're putting together. Just like that. More definition right here. Build this little cloud. There we go. There we go. There we go. Even adding maybe some highlight in here. Maybe this cloud has a little highlight in the bottom of it. Just like that. Just like that. And if you want to go ahead and blend these in, you feel free to do so with the same brush. And if you want to just leave those brush strokes, that's okay. Have you ever gone outside and seen that the clouds look perfect? Neither is your life either, you see. We're not here to strive for perfection. We're just here to enjoy. Enjoy every little part that life brings us. Every little color, every little everything. And we are about to be done. If you feel done here, you can go ahead and finish. If you want to keep going and adding and layering, please feel free to do so. You are free to express yourself however feels right to you. I am adding a little more of this yellow shade in here, just like that, just like that. And just like that, I think our time is done. We have here just a nice sky gradient, very light, very calm. I want to thank you for joining me on my first ever episode of the series titled The Art of Expression, and I hope to see you next week.